It's officially 2 a.m. on November 6th, and daylight saving time has ended. However, there's just one problem. I have never heard it called daylight saving time until this year. My entire life, I've known it as daylight savings time. And yesterday I had a phone call from my mother telling me that, hey son, I have a Mandela effect for you. How many of you can say that your moms are calling you with Mandela effects? So that's pretty cool. My mom sees lots of things that are different. She remembers buying Jiffy peanut butter, and she doesn't remember the Staples with the weird L, and a lot of things. She remembers Sally Fields, Donna Summers. So there's a lot of things that I point out she remembers. Anyhow, this is what she had seen yesterday. So she called me up and said, hey, you know, we're going to be changing the clocks. What's that called? I told her daylight saving time, but I know it is savings time. So she said, oh, you already know this one. Okay. So here we go here.
This daylight savings thing is wonderful. When we have sunlight, it actually wakes you up a little bit.
Of course, you all know my biggest pet peeve in the world is how people misspell it. So there's no S on. Even Jimmy Fallon's show had an S with.
Take off the S for sleep.
That's right. There's no S. It's daylight saving.
We got an extra hour of sleep today. But
okay, so he's taken up an issue with people put an S, and they think that's just because we do it for fun or something. They're not mentioning why it's really happening. Should take the opportunity to go into reality shifting. No, I'm just kidding. I can't imagine these people taking that up. But anyway, I got a few things here for you. From the U.S. Patent Office, we have daylight savings time, which is what I remember. This is a patent from January 2016, filed from EMC Corporation. So someone remembers daylight savings time. Windows 98, in a nutshell, book talking about if you want daylight savings time to be enabled automatically and standard time for daylight savings time. So some examples of how I remember it. In a reality that I was more familiar with my entire life, and man, I was driving down a boulevard in the peninsula over near San Francisco, and it was just like everywhere I turned, boom, boom, Mandela effect, boom, there's Staples, boom, look over here, there's something else. And everywhere I was turning back and forth, it was just mind-blowing, the amount of things I was seeing. I see Lazzy Boy over there, and, J.C. Penney popped up, and it was just back and forth. It was all over the place. Oh, it was kind of a weird feeling. So here we have Express Imaging Systems in 2015 have a patent. And they had okay. Well, I thought that I had this one set up. Sorry about that. But you can be assured it said daylight savings time with an S. That's why I had it here for the video. Anyhow, we'll move along. Most of these say daylight saving time, which here you go, daylight savings. I don't know. It's just so mind-blowing to see this daylight saving time everywhere. That just sounds so foreign. That's not how it was. I mean, this is how it was.
This weekend marks the end of daylight savings time clocks in most of the United States.
Okay, so unless you're in Arizona, it's now 2:02 a.m. So for those of you who didn't know that, Arizona doesn't participate in the daylight savings time, but for the other 51 states, go ahead and fall back. I'm just kidding. I know other 49 states. Another Mandela effect. People remember 52. So I just threw that in there. But for me, it's always been 50. 52, I have a weird, odd memory of a familiar feeling with that number for states. But I know there's 50. So anyway, that's kind of weird. But here we have daylight savings time, 1982, newspaper, Hapner Gazette, Times. Daylight savings time ends. And so this is just what it always was in a more familiar reality. This is what it was. I don't care if you think everyone's misremembering everything. It doesn't matter. Okay, those of us who are extremely affected by all of this have had such a hard time And for someone to say, oh, this is just all BS, I don't know, it's kind of a slap in the face, but they don't understand. Daylight savings time returning. They just don't understand. So, yeah, I have a kind of a unique opportunity with driving for Uber part-time where I have people I could just bring it up to. And I do on occasion because people are always asking me, you know, what do you do? Do you do something besides this? And so I'm going to make another video talking about a few things that have happened with people I've brought it up to. And so it's not just an easy thing you can just bring up and for like 10, 15 minutes and, you know, move along. So anyhow, that's about it. Please thumb this up if you agree with me. If it was always daylight savings time with an S, thumb it down if it's always been daylight saving time. So when I have a chance, I'll make that other video discussing some of the things that have happened to me in these discussions with people. So that's it for now. I'll talk to you all soon. Go create the reality that you want.